fast to check the mass exodus of youth from the country, stating that they must restore faith in young people or risk the unforgiving judgment of history. I would like to come to you on the story, but there was a House member who said during that session that I hope that you also replicate what you're saying in your new venture, because really, but a lot of Nigerians have reacted to this story. Let me just take a few. This person wrote, "It's almost too late. Oh well, if they want to regain the faith of the youth, they need to restore hope through proper accountability and transparency of governance. You can't tell people to suffer now and enjoy later when they can't see what is in store for them in the future." Well, Ghost of Lagos, I mean, he had a lot of tweets and he talked about crime, he talked about corruption, and he also talked about electricity. He wrote, "This should be number one. Give us electricity. Something as little as 24 hours electricity has drawn many Nigerian youth to Ghana. Talk less of foreign countries, as basic as these things are. I haven't spoken of pensions, quality, salaries, job security, and investment." He also talked about strikes in our institution, the tertiary institution, which demoralizes us before graduating to a society where jobs will most likely not be given on merit, but on who we are connected to. Ayo, over to you.
All right. Thank you for this story. I'm very interested because obviously it talks about young people and the potential of young people. The Speaker of the House of Representatives hasn't spoken out of turn. He stated the obvious, and I'm glad that he included it in his valedictory speech yesterday during the valedictory session. And rightly said, Oji, that was one of the first things that came to my mind, that he's going to be Chief of Staff next week. He's going to resume office fully. And so he has the ears of the President. And so he has quite, considerable powers to ensure that he's able to make a difference. So let me speak to what perhaps Nigerian young people would benefit from in this new administration. And bear in mind that throughout his campaign and during his inaugural speech, the President did emphasize that he was going to include young people in this particular administration in his tenure. So he's spoken very well, but it's beyond the speaking. We've had past leaders who have spoken about young people, especially during elections, but that's where it's ended. It's just a talk shop, not a lot of action back in it. So what do young people want? We're very easy. I mean, young people in Nigeria are very easy. Just give them good, quality of life, and they would be happy. Yes. Nigerians want to stay back. According to a recent poll by Africa Polling, they said 73% of young people polled wanted to migrate. Personally, I think the figures would be higher, because if you speak to a number of young people, they're looking for the next option to Japa. That's the word that was very popular last year. Japa means they want to escape, migrate to another country. Quality of life. You already said, the last tweet you read said a number of things you mentioned. Education, good education. Can we spend the number of time in the universities to, as it's been recommended? Yes. Number two, don't kill our young people. We look at security. When we look at security, we talked about the whole, NSAS, how young people are targeted because of certain, obvious dressing or so. Can we end that? Can we protect our young and not eat our young? Can we ensure that despite the way you look, despite what whether you have dreads or not, you're protected? Then small businesses. Look at the effects of small and micro businesses. Young people in Nigeria are innovative. Look at the tech startups. Many of them are young people in Nigeria. Nigerian young people are very hardworking. They are diligent. We have the can-do spirit. That is why when they eventually migrate, they make it. They're successful. And so when you see stories like that you have an enabling environment to make you thrive, then you want to move away. So can the President create an enabling environment for our young people to thrive? Engage the young people, and when you engage them, carry out their recommendations and let us see and maximize and tap into one of the greatest potentials that we have, which is our young population.
Well said, Ayo.